Do men want to know body count? Because they broke. That's the only time people ask, what's your body count? That means that's translation for I'm broke. If a man even asks you that, it's time to get up because he don't have what you need, baby.
He doesn't have what you need, or is it you might have what he don't want, which could be an STI.
So you know what that means? It means I want to guilt trip you and lower your value as a woman by counting how many men you slept with, even though I probably slept with more women. That's what he's thinking. So that I can lower your self-esteem and your standards for me.
Okay, friends, I think we have heard enough. This is my take on this. I feel as though if a woman grows up not knowing her self-worth, meaning that she should not run around and just open her legs to any guy, she's not going to have no self-respect. And a woman who doesn't have any self-respect, she's just going to run around wild, be dramatic, create drama, never going to be able to find her peace. And the most important is she's never going to learn how to respect a man. Because how are you going to respect yourself and then respect what the man is requesting from you? Right? Okay, now I know this goes both ways, but I have to talk about her delusion in particular because she really has 225,000 women looking up to her, listening to the bullcrap she is spreading into the world. And I don't even want to know how many people are actually following her lead. Her lead instead of following a man's lead. Let's start with the fact that this woman actually said that if a man asks you for your body count, he does it because he's broke. I need somebody in the comment section to explain this to me because I really don't understand how one thing has to do something with the other. I thought about it all day, but I just wasn't able to find a conclusion. And I'm thinking, what does she think? A wealthy man is going to be okay with a woman having a high body count? Aren't these women aware of the fact that high value men are starting to look for women outside of the US just to find somebody who doesn't have a high body count or shows them respect? And when you have a woman who respects a man, you know most definitely she respects herself because those are the values that traditional women grow up with. Respect yourself, respect the men, and most definitely respect the elderly and the tradition that you grow up in. And then she said, if a man asks you that, it is time for you to get up and leave. I wonder why. Because it is not easy to be held accountable for your dirty, nasty actions, right? It's already a challenge to hold yourself accountable every single day for whatever you do. But it hurts even more when you have a man holding you accountable for the messed up things that you are doing as a woman. So why would she even say get up and leave? Because these women know that it's wrong. And whether if you like it or not, a man is going to be able to tell whether if you had a high body count or not. For one, it's going to feel a certain way down there. I think everybody knows what I'm talking about. A lot of women don't even go up to their regular checkups, so it's going to smell a certain way down there. I think a lot of chicks and a lot of men know what I'm talking about. I'm sorry that I'm bringing this up, but this needs to be addressed. Why does it need to be addressed? Because I feel as though there are way too many women out there who act like they're a high value and they don't even know what it means to be a high value woman. A high value woman does not brag about her body count. A high value woman doesn't bum dinners off of men and never call these guys back. A high value woman would never even just go out to a dinner with random men. And also a high value woman wouldn't even say, oh, I'm high value. Nobody is good enough for me. Oh, you can't touch this. And a high value woman wouldn't even make a big deal out of the location that she's being taken to. Because she knows what it takes to be high value as it is. She doesn't need no confirmation from the outside. And also another thing that I need to address is somebody may be like, oh, you know what? Asking a woman about her body count is kind of a personal question. Okay, what about this? What about women asking the men, how much do you make? What do you do for a living? That's not personal? You know what the real problem is though? Women don't like the truth. And I'm sorry that I'm sitting here telling you this. Women don't like the truth, especially not when it comes from a man. This lady just said in the clip earlier that it's not okay for a man to talk about a woman's high body count because he wants to guilt trip her. Guilt trip her for what if she would be okay with actually whatever is going on. If a woman would be okay with a high body count and know that it's actually nothing bad, she would not feel bad if somebody is trying to guilt trip her. But these women know this. They just don't want to be told this, because these women nowadays, unfortunately, who are westernized, they just want to do what's easy, which is just go ahead and just opening your legs to anyone whenever you are drunk, whenever you are going through a situation, whenever you are high, whenever you feel lonely, unhappy, depressed, or whatever. I just, counted all of these occasions. Imagine a woman really just opening her legs to any man in those occasions. Of course, these women have a high body count. Duh. And a man doesn't need to make you want to feel lower than what you are. A woman with a high body count is lowering her worth, period. As a female, I'm sorry that I'm saying this, but it's true. And also as a possible candidate on a dating market. No man wants to be with somebody who has a high body count, because these women look like they have a high body count. They look used, washed up, unhappy, because it's not natural for a woman to go around and just sleep with anyone. We are not designed to do that, and we can also run around and do whatever men are doing. We are naturally not even designed to do that either. A woman gets pregnant by a man, and then she's going to have to be busy carrying that baby for 9 months. Within those 9 months, that man can go ahead and, get so many other women pregnant. You see the difference here? So we are not even designed by nature to do whatever men are doing. And another thing, my friends, a woman with a high body count, she'll never be able to settle down. And if she does settle down, that's really not going to take long, because she is not going to be satisfied with one man. She's going to get bored, and then she's going to talk about that you don't make her happy anymore, that she needs to move on to the next man. Hell, you even have women who sleep with their man's cousin. I know it always takes two, but I'm going to say one thing. The woman is always going to be the one in control, because the man is the weaker sex when it comes to actually, being sexually active. Men are visual creatures. And this is not an excuse. Yes, the men need to have more self-control too. But if a woman makes it possible for certain things to happen, the chance of it happening is going to be higher. If a man would walk into this apartment right now and try to start something with me, I'm going to be the one in control. Either I'm going to let it happen or not. But a lot of women, they don't have that. So what is a man supposed to rate a woman on? What can a man even ask a woman without her feeling offended or walking away from the table because the question is just too personal or whatever? A man can ask a woman, do you have kids? Do you have a high body count? Can you please not dress so revealing? Do you drink? Are you on medication? So what kind of information is this man supposed to get from this woman in order to actually, make sure that she's okay to continue to be dealt with? A man can't even ask a woman in peace if she can cook or clean, because women automatically feel offended, talk about, I am not your mother. I don't clean and cook for a man. But yeah, that man is supposed to pay for everything, right? His bills and your bills and your children's bills, right? A child that doesn't even belong to the man. I don't think that's fair. So no, a high body count has nothing to do with being a high value woman. It has nothing to do with being that shit, because honey, you're clearly not. When you just go around and open your legs to anyone, that is not something that a high value woman does. A high value woman sits at home. She knows her worth. She carries herself a certain way, and she is not creating any drama. And also she is very accountable for her own actions. So this is nothing that any woman should be proud of. Now, it is something that you can try to do better in the future if you had a high body count and you're coming to the realization that this was really not it, especially because now you are stuck with 2 to 3 kids and the baby daddies are nowhere to be found. Yeah, you can always better yourself, but sitting there and feeling some type of way when somebody asks you about it is really not a good way to deal with the situation, because then you guys are really showing that you cannot be held accountable for whatever you are doing. So that's just my take on it. So that was today's video, my dear friends. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day, sitting here and listening to what I have to say. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. Give it a like, give it a dislike. Tell me what you feel about what I do. And if you have some type of suggestions, if you want me to talk about certain things a little more than I do, also let me know. I am very, very open and very, very thankful for your messages.